Hi folks, we're going to seal the inside of this freshly painted Yamaha Fs1e tank using Petseal. So I'll see you in a minute. Right, this is a Fs1e tank that we've recently restored. You can actually find the restoration of this tank on my Retro Hacks channel. I'll leave a link in the description below. And what we've got to do now is obviously to protect the internals of the tank. In other words, seal up the inside of the tank, because we don't know the full condition inside, although it does look okay, pretty much okay. I'll show you that in a second. And if you would have seen the video on the restoration, you would have noticed also that on the bottom of the tank, it had loads of holes, rust holes along here, which we've actually restored and cured now, as you can probably see there. And there was also some dents and things in it and whatever. But as you can see, we've applied new decals on it. We've given it a nice standard coat of paint. We've not actually buffed this up, so this is as we've actually sprayed it off the gun, so to speak. And as you can see, the underside is actually very nice as well. A lot of people don't bother doing the underside, so that's just something we felt we wanted to do. Now, if we actually look into the tank, I've cleaned all this out, by the way. When we actually done the restoration, I'd swished it all out with a paraffin wash, and then we actually put hot soapy water inside, give it a good shake as well, and then tipped all that out. That was actually doing all the welding work in it, because we didn't want any fumes inside, obviously, although I've had this tank standing about for years and years. So anyway, what I've actually got, there's many different products on the market, and I've got something called Petseal, which is an advanced carbon fibre formula corrosion resistant internal coating for rusty petrol tanks. It's dated May 19. This is obviously October 1918. 2018, 1918, look at me. So always make sure it's in date. And this is a 250 millilitres quantity, which will do up to 15 litres, I think, the tank 15 litres. And this is the hardener that comes with it. So apparently this is a measured equivalent. So this little bit of hardener in there, which is a little plastic bottle, which comes up to probably about a quarter full there. This mixes with that, and that should provide us with our universal seal all over the tank. Now, something we got to do first of all is to do a little test, which they recommend. And they recommend pouring out 5 millilitres of this and adding 2 drops of this to mix it up thoroughly, and just drop a bit inside the tank, probably where you can see it, and just make sure that the conditions are right for this product, because this is the only way they'll guarantee it, basically. So and you've also got to make sure it's at room temperature. So we've had this standing in the house now for about 4 or 5 days. The tank's been in this same room here, acclimatising, so it's not one's cold and one's warm. Everything's as it should be. So what we're going to do now is just do a little test of it first, and we'll mix up and drop a bit in there and see how it performs inside the tank. But the tank, as I said to you, is clean. We've prepared the tank. It's totally clean and rust-free, not rust-free, but debris-free, so to speak. And it's also got no other chemicals in it. We've washed it all out. So I'm going to mix up 5 millilitres, and also what you have to do as well, because at the bottom it says there's some advanced carbon fibre in here, and that could settle at the bottom of the tub, at the bottle. So you tip it all out into a separate container. They recommend a 600 cc container, something like a plastic drinks bottle with a top cut off, for example. And then make sure you mix up all them fibres that are at the bottom of this as well before you do any mixing with the actual hardener. So let's do that. Right, okay, so first of all, what we're going to do is to mix up. So I've got a 5 millilitre portion of that, and let's undo our main ingredient, so to speak, which is our Petseal Ultra. Now don't forget, this won't start getting hard until we actually mix both of these parts together. So I'm going to just remove this cap. Now this is a resin, and you want to do this in a well ventilated area, obviously. But first of all, what I'm going to do is to mix up all of this, because it does say there could be some settlement at the bottom. So make sure you do give it a good stir first before you pour it out, as you want to ensure if there are any fibres in there, which it says there is, that they're not all sitting at the bottom of the tin. Right, okay. I'll give that a good mix up now. So all I'm going to do now is just fill up this little spoon here, which is 5 millilitres, just by hopefully dribbling it in there like that. There we go. Can't see any fibres in there, mind you, but we're just doing what we're told. Okay, that's 5 millilitres. I'll just leave that in there for the moment. And I've got to just put this in a little cup there, which I've got provided. And all it says is 2 drops of this stuff, the hardener. So I've got another little like lolly stick here. Hopefully put 2 drops of this in. There's our 2 drops. Right, now just mix that up. Make sure it's mixed up thoroughly. And all I'm going to do is to drop that into our tank. So let me just put that in there for a minute. I'll just show you inside the tank first of all. I don't know if you can actually see anything there, can you? The tank's pretty clean. It's not really corroded, but it has got some surface rust in there, which is to be expected. And just drop that on the surface of that middle part of the tank. Just let it all run in there. And what we're supposed to be doing here is recreating the conditions which the full mix is going to go into. So I've just got to watch that and see how that sets up. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I will know by the remainder little drop in here. So don't throw this away. This is your indication of when it sets up, basically. So we just want to see that it is going to set, so to speak. So I'll see you in a minute, and we'll have a look and see how this sets up. Right, well, it's been exactly 5 minutes now, and the stuff is now not moving about. And if I put my hand there, I can feel the warmth. So 5 minutes it's taken to get to the stage where it's not running anymore. So one thing to realise is here is that the hole, you've obviously got 2 holes for your tank, one being the filler hole. They do say use your cap and use a piece of plastic, put that on the cap like that, for example, and then screw it back in. Saves any resin getting on your rubber seal there. So that's what I'll be doing for the top hole. And the bottom hole, if I turn the tank over, which is where the petrol cap is, all I've taken is some rolled up paper there, covered it in a plastic bag, and as you can probably see, I've rolled it so it's a real nice fit in there like that, for example. So because you've got to go through the procedure of actually turning this tank over to make sure all the coatings are actually done, and after it goes off to this stage where it's not actually running anymore, as you can probably see there, you then take this out, stand it up the correct way, and then put it in a nice warm place, and that should be it then, and you leave that for 7 days before you put any petrol in it. But as you can see, the tank's really, really nice. The off the gun finish of this was actually really nice, so we just left it as it was. Give it that sort of factory look, but we lacquered over the decals there, as you can see. So you can find the restoration on my Retro Hacks channel, and do have a look at it. It's lovely. I'll be keeping this tank, I think. I don't think I'll be selling it. It's the nearest I've got to an old Fs1e, although my one, what I had the speed blocks along there with the word Yamaha written above it. Mine was the auto lube version, which was the chappy red one. Mine was the last one they done before they restricted them. This one wasn't a restricted Fs1e which come out, which was the Fs1e. Those of you who know your Fs1es will know what I'm talking about. After August 1977, on an R plate, my one was, and as I say, after that, then they went to the restricted ones, and this was one of them. But it's the same tank, I think. So I just kept this tank original because it was this colour originally. Right, well, I'm looking at that now, and I'm quite happy with that. That's nice and warm. I'm just looking inside the tank there. I'm touching it. Yep. I can feel it going tacky. So I'm going to mix up this now, and we'll put that in the tank. I'm happy with the little test we've done. Right, okay, we're all mixed up now. I'm going to put my plug in the bottom of my tank. Ensure that goes in there correctly. And I'm going to start pouring my liquid, hoping not to get none all over my tank. In here. Now what they tell you to do is to put the cap on, then turn it over onto the cap first of all, and coat the top first. So that's what I'll be doing, and then swish it around and go from side to side. So I'm going to be doing that. There we go. So that's in there now. I've got my cap there, obviously, with my plastic on. I'll be turning that on there like that till it's on. Now I'm going to turn it over. I hope nothing leaks out here. And what they say is move it back side to side. Now it's still pretty fluid in there, I would imagine. And they say you can actually feel it start to warm up. So I'm going on to the side now. And they reckon this 250 millilitres would easily do a tank in this size anyway. So I'm now going to go on to the other side. As I say, don't forget we've got that middle part of the tank as well. So we're hoping to cover everything. It stays liquid, well it did in that little container there for about 5 minutes, so I'm not too sure what the time's going to be. But I think they said you can feel the tank warm up a little bit. I'll have a little look in a minute. And then you can sort of assume from there. So let me just hold it there for a minute. I'm going to get this light here so I can see. And I don't want to drop any in there. See, it says straight back in the tank. Right, yeah, it's all moved about there. Let me have a look. Right, well, it's all over the tank, but it's not over that centre bit yet, so I'm going to replace that. Turn that flat over again, and I'm going to tip that back up to the front. Get it over there, and then flip it over. Must be pretty difficult to try and coat that centre bit of the tank, you know, the bit when you look in. Because that's sort of this bit here, you know, because that's in the middle of the tank, and swishing it round, you ain't really going to sort of reach that, not unless you sort of hold it to one side and then sort of flip it around quickly. I can hear it running in there, so maybe that's the way to go, then go back that way. There you go. So you've got to sort of adopt a technique where you sort of flip it, get it all down one side and then flip it and cover it. So I'm pretty sure now that the top's all covered now. So I'm going to just move it about along the seams either side. I can leave the top off now, it says. And start to just seal all them bottom edges in, you know. And you can tell when it starts to go off by keeping your container here. As you can see, look, it's still very fluid at the moment. As soon as I see this start to go off, I'll take that bottom bung out and then set it somewhere to sort of dry. But until then, I'm just going to keep moving it about like this to ensure that we've got full coverage. Right, okay, it's probably an hour later now, and I've been continually turning the tank. Now, this does say that this stuff is fast acting. Now, you know, we've done the little test, well, that went off within 5 minutes, as I said to you. I shouldn't still be turning this in an hour. And I kept looking at my little liquid that was left in here, and that was literally as runny as it was in the tank. So there was something, obviously something wrong. This is the 250 millilitre container which they give me. This is the hardener bottle. Now, the hardener bottle, I would say, was less than quarter full. Now, I think didn't have enough hardener in here to activate this within a certain time. The room temperature is probably about 23 degrees, so they recommend don't do it below 21 degrees, but even so, it shouldn't take an hour. So what I've actually done, I've gone out and got the hairdryer, and I just put the heat on the outside of this gently, and within about 2 or 3 minutes, this is now hot. I can feel it is activated, and it's actually stopped running. So what I've actually done now is I'm going to, or have been for the last couple of minutes, is just put the hairdryer over this whole tank. Just sort of give it the odd blast inside, because it was totally liquid still. And then go over the whole tank all around. Then I've turned it over again, and let me just have a little look inside now. Let me just see if it is actually sealing up now. Right, at the moment it's still very runny in there, so I'm just going to sit here for about 5 minutes until I see it thicken up like I did in the cup, and then I'll take that little plug out there, and then obviously we'll take it from there. But I shouldn't be sitting here over an hour later still turning the tank, so I'll see you in a minute. Right, let's have another little look inside, see if it's still runny. Yeah, it's totally liquid still inside. See, this shouldn't be the case after an hour. I'm hoping now, as I say, now I've proved that with the hairdryer on there, that's actually set now. Or set up a lot more. And I just need to apply more heat, because that's definitely way too runny after an hour. Right, okay, well, after an hour and a half and plenty of hair dryer work, we've got to the stage now where it's not actually running out of the tank. I can put my finger in there and I can feel it's still tacky. So there's nothing else I can do. I can only assume that they've given me the wrong quantity of hardener. When they put them in these little bottles, these are only little disposable bottles, they probably pour it in there and measure it out themselves from a larger container. This has only been quarter full, if that, and I was a bit dubious, but I had to go with it because it says on there that it's the correct amount for that 250 millilitres of resin. If this doesn't set, then I'm in a different situation then, because I'd have to get the old stuff out, and apparently they do a chemical for that, and then I'd have to redo the job again. But you don't expect that when you're paying sort of £19.50 or £20 for something like this. This is called Petseal Ultra, by the way, and I did get it off eBay. So just a little view as to what I came up against with doing this. It should be easy. I know there's different ones out there. The reason why I went for this one is that it sold thousands on eBay, and obviously if there was any problems with it, there would have been an issue. But it may just be my luck that I've not been given enough hardener for the mixture. The temperature's definitely all right. Even this that's had the hairdryer on it, which has gone off now, but it's still tacky to the touch. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'll update you in another video, but it always happens to me. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here for now. I'll see you in the next video, and until then, bye for now.